Nonstop Local is partnering with Greater Spokane Valley Chamber of Commerce and Greater Spokane Incorporated to bring you Candidate Conversations.
Time now for another candidate conversation. Joining me now, we have Suzanne Schmidt running for House Position 1 in District 4. Thank you for being with us. We're asking all candidates the same 3 questions, 60 seconds to respond, all with issues that small business owners will be dealing with here in our community. The first, inflation, regulation, small business taxes. Do you think that government should be doing more or less to be helping small business owners?
I think they should be doing more with less. And what I mean by that is I think we have really too many regulations, too many mandates that are on small businesses. What I see is that the state government really paints all businesses as the same size. So an employer that has 2,500 employees is looked at or treated the same way as someone with 25. And I think that in order to really help businesses to be successful, and especially the small businesses, that we need to pull back on some of those regulations and some of those mandates, and maybe even carve-outs for smaller businesses.
Some of the issues business owners are dealing with these days, things like homelessness, mental health, substance abuse, along with theft and vandalism, crime, just things like, if elected, how do you create a safe environment for business owners?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think first of all, we need to actually get some results and get some reports, information back from the homeless. We've spent, in the last 5 years, we've spent like $400 million on the homeless population in the state of Washington, and we really haven't received any reports of any status of, is it working? Do we have less people on the streets? Do we have more people on the streets? And what are we doing to help the drug addiction problem? And that's really from my opinion, that's what's, the basis of the homelessness is the drug addiction and people living in the streets. And so what I'd like to see is more information about what are we doing right, and what are the numbers, what does it look like for the people that we have actually helped? And then once we've identified that, we could actually duplicate those problems, or those programs, elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Housing costs in Washington, rent costs are one of the highest in the country, and if elected, how do you address the high cost of housing?
Well, I think, again, we need to cut back on some regulations and permitting and get more inventory on the market. That seems to be the big problem, is that we just don't have the inventory, so we don't have the houses being built. It's less expensive to build a house in Idaho than it is in Washington, and that's because of Washington regulations and permitting processes, and also waiting periods and inspections. So I think if we could open up some of those barriers and get more housing starts, also looking at more multi-family homes, middle to affordable housing. So not just the affordable housing, but also that middle housing for people that are working families that need some help in getting into an apartment or home. But I think it really comes back again to the inventory and being able to free that up and allowing more housing to be built in our state.
Suzanne Schmidt, thank you so much.
Yes.
Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.